guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackie and Judd on SKOR North and SKORNorth.com.
And it is a Write That Down Wednesday, the OG version on SKOR North, and that is why you see the Mackie and Judd banner, because we got predictions. Declan's got predictions. Phil, who is in Washington at a podcast conference, has predictions that he has pre-recorded, and we will be joined by our guest Nick as well. Write that down. These predictions often range from the Twins, sometimes to golf. Of course, we also have our football predictions, mostly Vikings, on the Purple Daily version. But Declan Goff, you have the explanation. For those who might be tuning in right now and saying, write that down, what does that mean? Do these guys actually track their predictions? And if they do, why are they morons? Declan's going to explain it all to you.
I can't explain necessarily why we're morons in other reasons, but at least to write that down, yes, we like to make predictions about Minnesota sports or pop cultures, and sometimes it's against ourselves, for God's sakes. I mean, my brother and now wife joined the show to make all Declan wedding-related predictions. So it was a good week.
And your wife slayed it. She was great.
She did. She very much did. So here's how it works. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs on this OG edition. And if you'd like to participate in this edition, hit me up via email on the SKOR North app. You can find us there. You can also DM me on Twitter at Dex's Tweets if you'd like a spot. I believe we're about a month booked out, so I think we have some openings on this one starting in about September 20th, I think is the last time I checked. So we do have some openings coming up next month. Hit me up if you want to be a part of this show. We'll start with the accountability session, and we'll go to Judd. Judd, here's you had one thing off the board. You said Levi Drake Rodriguez will have a sack against the Cleveland Browns.
So I got haughty there because he had one in the first preseason game against the Raiders, and so I thought that he might again. Still on the board, Brian Flores will be a National Football League head coach in 24. We can take that off the board.
Okay.
Phil, whenever you want, if you watch this, you could take that off because I guess my new prediction is Brian Flores will never get a head coaching job again. I mean, what with the lawsuit and the Tua thing, and if you go back a year or last season, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who now does TV work, ripped him too. So, yeah. Safe to take that one off the board. Very safe to consider me, although I know that the stats won't reflect it. 0 for 2 right now.
All right, Mackie had nothing come off the board, but still on the board, the Twins will beat the Yankees in a playoff series in 2024. Man, he loves drinking out of that well, doesn't he?
You know what's funny? And we'll talk about this on the yet-to-be-recorded Twin show that we're going to do after last night's epic meltdown against the Padres. I tweeted this. That meltdown against the Padres felt like it was a game against the Yankees in the stadium, didn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Like how it just came unglued. So yeah, he wants the Yankees, and I'm like, I don't think you do, but okay, dude, whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it had a little bit of the feel. I think this was more self-inflicted than it was Twins-Yankees BS. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I also think the Twins, the problem last night, and my issue with the Twins against the Yankees is they shoot themselves in the foot against both. Like they self-inflict. They started Bailey Ober in game 2. I'm sorry.
I would love if they did.
Dobnik. Yeah. They started Randy Dobnik in game 2 in 19. That's self-inflicted, man. You are asking to get beat. So I just feel like the Twins have a way at times of spiraling, and it's at least partially their fault.
Listeners, busy week here. David said J.J. McCarthy's first game will be against the Titans. Sorry. Alex said J.J. McCarthy will start at quarterback and beat the Falcons, and a prominent Vikings player will say you like that in a post-game video, which is still great. I actually might make that prediction, just the last of it.
Well, I was going to say, if they beat the Falcons and Kirk plays, or he doesn't play, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Josh
said by the end of the 24 season that McCarthy will have at least 3,800 passing yards and at least 25 touchdowns. However, Lucas has a home run here for the listener. He said J.J. McCarthy will not start a single game in 2024.
Yep.
Little technicality home run, but hey, upon further review, that ball clears the fence.
Yep.
That's a home run.
Absolutely.
All right, I said just one thing off the board. The Twins will be within a half game out of first place at some point between now and next week's accountability session. They had a couple chances to make this happen. Because if they would have won on Sunday, there would have been a game back.
Oh, they were tracking.
Yeah.
Dex. They were tracking. 3 consecutive wins against Texas. I thought Declan's got this one.
Yeah.
So.
And then not. 3 straight losses. So
yep.
Good start there.
Yep.
All right, statistics on the year. Old Macadac leading the batting average, 393 with 7 home runs. I'm behind him at 377. I got off to a slow start, but don't let Dex tweets get hot either. I'm betting 377 with 7 home runs. Listeners lead though. They have 9 home runs and 358. Judd's at the bottom of 333 with 7 bombs, but
very rare.
Collectively, this is easily the best
very rare.
Us 4 have been, including the listeners, in terms of just season statistics. We're about halfway through here. We go to Super Bowl to Super Bowl. So we're about halfway through the calendar year.
Yeah, I'm not having a good season. I think I think the last time that I struggled like this was 2020 pandemic year.
Oof. Gotta get your swing right.
Every once in a while I just have these years where I just struggle and it sucks. It's not fun for me.
Career-wise, which statistics go back to 2018, I lead with 362 career average and 43 bombs. Listeners lead all-time, though, with 64 lifetime home runs. They're hitting 268. Judd does lead the all-time hits category, though. 366 hits. Mackey, 336. Thank you.
I wish I had 366.
Mackey hitting 282 with 53 career home runs. All right, there's our accountability session. Let's get our guy Nick in here. He's like the Steve Martin, right? He's getting the 3-timers club that he can stitch onto his chest here. He's been a familiar face on Write That Down. Nick, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, yeah, thanks for having me. It's I'm just kind of miserable over what's happened with the Twins lately. You know, I had high hopes, and now I'm just feeling like it's going to be just another year.
Don't worry, they'll pop. I think they're going to sweep the Cards now. Like, if you look at the trajectory of their year, what sort of drives me crazy is they get in these streaks where it's like they play a lot of good baseball. You take 3 in Texas, right? And then you're like, okay, they figured it out. This is going to be, and then, you know, the last 2 of the 3 are just abysmal defeats. I bet they sweep the Cardinals, beat the Braves like twice. And the Braves are, if you think the Twins are injury plagued, the Braves, my God, pitchers out, their key players out. So
Riley,
yeah, but you'll see them. Well, Acuna's out, Albies is out, Riley is out, Stryker is out. So yeah, but anyway, don't worry, they'll come back. They'll get your hopes up, and then the playoffs will start. So.
All right, Nick. So we'll start with you. You'll be the leadoff hitter. We'll then go to Judd, then myself, and then Mackie will join via satellite. So Nick, you're the leadoff guy here. What is your first prediction, sir?
Okay, so kind of bouncing off my my Twins frustration. You know, I was just looking at the standings. I just don't see them falling out of the playoffs, even though I kind of want them to. Just to stick it to the front office and the ownership for not doing anything at the trade deadline.
Yep.
I think it's you're seeing right now in the last week why we needed a relief pitcher, because you can't pitch Jacks every day and Duran every day. If you're not, you got to have someone else out there. It's
Southpaw too.
Yeah, and another starting pitch. The starting pitching has actually been pretty good, but it's the relief pitching, you know.
Yeah.
So I can't, in good conscience, with the listeners doing as well as they are, I really want to keep this up and see if we can make a charge for probably the first place finish for our listeners, right?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. I want to implore the listeners right now. Let first place in home runs and batting title. We can do this.
I like
it. All right.
Talking
and
smack.
I think this one is probably going to happen. Twins lose in the first round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're going to go on the road. Probably, you know, I think.
Yeah. They'll get the 5 or 6 and play the 4 or the 5. And Houston is on fire right now.
Yeah, Houston's back.
We never beat Houston. Verlander's back.
Yep. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Houston's.
If the Twins
back.
aren't at home in the first round, I don't like their chances. And if you get the Yankees or Baltimore, I mean, Baltimore, I would prefer Baltimore just because the Yankee script is so old and tiresome. But, I mean, Baltimore's good too. So,
Right,
yeah.
Baltimore lost another starting pitcher.
That's a good point too. Yeah, before we complain about, well, the Twins got guys hurt. The Braves got guys hurt. The Orioles have basically had to redo their pitching staff.
Yeah.
Corbin Burns, if I'm not mistaken, is the only starter from opening day who's healthy. So anyway, all right, on to me. The Twins will sign Willi Castro to a multi-year contract before the 2025 season. Allow me to explain. So he is eligible for arbitration. I don't think that they'll go, but he deserves, like if his representatives allow him to sign a 1-year contract, they should all be fired. Like this is a situation where you have to get your player, I think, no fewer than 3 years at a pretty decent sum. He then would become a free agent after 2025. And before you say, well, then it makes sense that he signs a 1-year contract. This is Willi Castro we're talking about. This could be the season of seasons. And if he regresses, he's not going to have the same type of year. I think the Twins keep him. I don't think it's an otherworldly contract, but I think it's probably fair compensation.
Sure.
And who knows? They've been so cheap, they might not. But I'm going to say right now that Castro remains here, multi-year contract this offseason, Dex.
I like it. So write this down. I'm going to get this on the board as quickly as I can because it technically can come off the board any minute. We're recording this at about 10:15 a.m. Central Time. Write this down. After being DFA'd by the Cubs, Hector Neris cleared, and the Twins will acquire him. The Twins will sign Hector Neris. By the way, even though he's a righty, he is much more effective and just as effective against lefties, which, as we saw yesterday, was a problem. So the Twins will sign Hector Neris. Write it down.
All right. Fair enough. I hope they do something.
All right, Macadac, first prediction here from the hotel room in our nation's capital.
Yes, Mackie reporting live here. Political correspondent Ol Macadac for SKOR North in the middle of Washington, D.C. I'm actually at Podcast Movement Convention here. It's like the 8th year. A lot of great industry knowledge. There's only like 5 sports people at this thing. But good to be out here learning things about the podcast industry so we can make our shows better at SKOR North. So write this down. Prediction number 1. The Twins offense, the Twins bats will take matters into their own hands. I think we're all sick of watching this mediocre bullpen blow leads late. So write it down today. This is going to come off the board today against the Padres. The Twins offense will score at least 8 runs. Don't even let Steven Okert and whoever else blow the game. Just score enough runs. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I will say they will score at least 8 runs in the series finale against the Padres.
Not saying they're going to win. Just saying.
Who's starting for the Friars?
Look it up quick.
I'm curious about that.
Yeah, so series finale here. Matt Waldron, the knuckleballer.
Okay.
The knuckleballer.
Right. Like, that's the thing about, ultimately, what bothers me, I think, the most about last night.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey Ober v. Martin Perez.
Yeah. You got to win that game.
Come on.
You got to win that game.
Come on.
You got to win that game. That's pretty bad. All right, we'll go back to Nick here for your second prediction, sir. What do you got?
Before I get to that, I just wanted to shout out Trevor Plouffe. God, he does such a good job. And Judd, I saw you tweet about it, and he's not afraid to get on the Twins staff for questioning pitches. Why are you throwing a pitch like right in the outside, like right in the middle of the plate on 1-2, and he did it twice in a row, and he got crushed on it. I appreciate that. Honestly.
Me too. Me too.
And secondly, I love those. I don't know if you guys like those City Connect Padres uniforms. They're all like multicolored, really bright colored jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to get one of those.
I dig them.
Well, and the thing too is they're cool because they represent what those jerseys are supposed to be. Like, they're supposed to be different, right? And so, like, it's good. Like, and I'm among the teams that wear those, and I think the Yankees are the only team that abstain. I would guess that the Padres are near the top of the list of teams that sell those, because those things are like, they're different, but they're sort of California-like.
Yeah.
And they are very different than the Padres look. So I'm with you.
Yeah, ours are very bland. All right. Write this down. One of these three pitchers will start a playoff game this year for the Twins.
Okay.
Festa, Simeon Woods Richardson, Zibian Matthews, whatever his first name is. Matthews.
Zebinator.
Yeah. One of those guys.
So you're predicting that they won't get swept in the first round, then? That they'll get to a third game at the very least?
So they'll win a playoff game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if they go...
You know what?
Yep.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm actually pretty impressed by Vesta. I mean, he throws 5 solid innings, gives up 2 runs, and gives up to the bullpen. And the last game, he's had 82 pitches. They won't let him throw 6 innings. I don't know what the issue is. Dex maybe has some inside information, but why won't they let Vesta throw more than 80 pitches or 5 innings? Because he's been dominant. In some of those outings.
His numbers just explode third time through the order, so they just don't even let. In fact, if he starts a playoff game, because he's actually super good the first time through, I wouldn't be shocked at all if they just hook him, and if Fest is able to get those 9 outs in 3 innings or face close to the minimum in 3, that they would just turn that into a bullpen game afterwards. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, who comes in?
Depends on the situation.
Okay, can we decide? Because I feel like they don't understand the situation at times.
Well, but I mean, it all depends, because they could also throw in one of those starters as a piggybacker.
That's what I would do.
There's options there. Yeah, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Remember Joe Ryan last year? He was basically an opener.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was.
What are the odds that he comes back for the playoffs?
Small.
I wouldn't count on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're not going to take any chances, too.
Yeah.
All right. My second prediction. The Twins will pin a loss on Sonny Gray in the upcoming series against the Cardinals. Now, he's scheduled to start on Saturday. That's the last time I checked. So I think he's going to pitch in the series. I'm not positive it's going to be. I looked at the projection a couple days ago, but I'm saying that he will pitch against the Twins, and the Twins will pin a loss on him.
So Sonny Gray will be credited with a loss, not that the Twins beat the Cardinals.
Sonny Gray will take a loss.
Okay.
He will be credited with an L, and we can debate. We can go back to debating pitcher wins and pitcher losses and how they're unfair in life and how we got to eliminate it. I don't care. Sonny Gray takes a loss here, because that's how the Twins are. They're going to blow games like they're doing right now, and then they're going to come back, and it's going to be like, they beat the Cardinals, yay! And then eventually they're just going to crush everybody. And by that, I mean your hearts, not the opponents.
All right. Next prediction from me. Write this down. Carlos Correa and Byron Buxton will be on the active roster by September 1st. So basically, both these guys, Buxton, I think, will be back soon. I don't think that this will be much longer. But Correa, we don't know. But I'm going to say Carlos Correa and Byron Buxton will be off the injured list, and they'll be on the active roster by September. So write it down.
Okay. The update on Correa from your guy, Nick Paparesta, yesterday, it remains very vague.
Yep.
Like, he ran better, but we're still trying to get the pain. They can't decide on what I've been saying the entire time is you got to pick a pain threshold. It can't be a moving target. Well, my foot doesn't hurt today, so I think I can play. Oh, it's sore in the morning, I can't play. You got to pick up how much pain can you tolerate? Because at some point in time, I understand the desire not to do what he did in 2023, but if you really think that you're going to be almost pain-free, then your season's done.
Right.
Quit moving the target.
All right, let's go to Mackie for his second prediction here on Write That Down.
Okay, write this down. Prediction number 2 here. I'm going to sneak a Vikings prediction into the OG edition. Much like Judd last week, I just have overflowing Vikings takes. I need somewhere to put these things. So write this down. Sam Darnold, the Sam Darnold era, begins officially in New York, week 1. What, 3 weeks from now? Whatever it is, 2-3 weeks from now. Write this down. In that game, week 1 against the Giants, Sam Darnold will account for at least 3 touchdowns. Could be 3 passing touchdowns. Could be, by the way, offensive touchdowns. I can hear the jokes already. So a pick 6 doesn't quite count. in this one. So it could be 2 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, could be 3 rushing touchdowns. Crazy legs Darnold. But he will account for at least 3 touchdowns week 1 against the Giants.
I love that he quantified that with
he so badly wants to will Darnold into. Yeah. I just don't know. I have no clue.
All right, one more lap around the room. Nick, your third and final prediction. What do you got, buddy?
All right. First of all, what's the update on Brooks Lee? How far out is he?
He started swinging this
both
week.
Sides too.
Both sides. Yep, that's important.
He's probably pretty close.
So he's back before the month ends. I would assume.
All right, let's go with this then. One of these 3 players will not be on the playoff roster. Carlos Correa, Brooks Lee, or Royce Lewis.
Ooh.
Off the record, it's because of injury.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Well, and the Correa thing, until he's back, now I'm not. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I'm hard pressed to believe he's not going to be back at some point in time, but we certainly don't have a definitive timeline. So,
yeah, that could be rough.
If Royce doesn't get hurt again, I'd be very happy.
That'd be good.
I'd like to see Royce not get hurt again. That would be good too.
Mm-hmm.
And Brooks Lee, who knows? So,
Nick, you're a veteran here on Mackey and Judd. Write that down. So, anyone else you'd like to thank, or any other final parting words before we say goodbye?
No, thank you guys for all your great content and for helping me get through my workday. Thank my beautiful wife Steffi. We just got back from a great trip to Cedar Point, not too far from Cleveland. I was gonna check in and if they had time get to a Cleveland Guardians game out there, but they weren't really home at the time. But you guys are awesome. I love your content. It's kind of a depressing time again. The Vikings, I'm not really hopeful for. And Twins, no. Timberwolves, yeah. Bike Wild, no. It's like one of those things. But, yeah. I appreciate everything you guys do. And maybe I'll see you guys next year.
Awesome, Nick. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Nick.
Schedule it now with Dex.
Yep.
Next year.
All right, so one more lap of room here on the OG version of Write That Down. But by the way, you can get tickets to a big homestand with the Twins coming up here against the Cards, against the Braves, little NL showdowns. We don't see these fan bases that come to the Target Field very often. Now with the new rules, we get to see them at least every other year. But big week of ball coming up for the Twins. So twins.com/tickets, twins.com/tickets to go watch some great baseball, hopefully. At Target Field. All right, Judd, what's your third and final prediction?
Third and final prediction, I'm going to go to the Wild.
Hello?
Liam Ogren will be in the opening night lineup.
Okay.
Roster charts. He will be playing. He will make the team, obviously, and he will be playing opening night. So there's some question there. I think he showed that in the brief time that he got last season that he's prepared to be here on a full-time basis, can score some goals for you. Liam Ogren will be in a Wild sweater on opening.
So an active, so not a healthy scratch. He'll
active. He will be on the roster, on the line charts. How about that?
Yep, gotcha. I gotcha. All right, last one for me. Write this down. I'll push this one out. Carlos Santana will win a Gold Glove. Write it down. It'll happen.
Finalist last year. He's never won one, and he is a very accomplished, as we've seen, first baseman.
I believe number 1 in outs above average, number 1 in another. I'm blanking on the other fielding metrics, but
it's a fickle award, though, man.
Yep.
It's voted on, if I'm not mistaken, by managers.
Yep.
And they do not vote with any. They don't care. The fact that the vote has not been taken away from them is ridiculous. Like, seriously, they don't care. They don't want. They watch their own team, right? Yep. So, but he deserves it. And what's nice too is he plays. When you watch him play first base, he plays it, and you understand why it's so important to have an accomplished glove man at first base.
Yep. Instinctual first baseman.
Anyone can play first base. Yeah, good luck with that.
Nope. Yeah, Rocco likes to talk about instincts with defensive first baseman, and he has them. He definitely has them.
Perfectly put.
All right, Mackey's third and final prediction. Here we go.
And final prediction here from the nation's capital. Write this down. Bears fans, let's take a deep breath. I know it's very exciting. Once every generation, you think you find a franchise quarterback that can maybe throw for 3,000 yards in the season. By the way, only 6 times in Bears franchise history has a quarterback, literally dating back to before the Great Depression, the history of that franchise. Only 6 times has a quarterback thrown, or I think 6 different quarterbacks, for over 3,000 yards. So they're very excited about Caleb Williams, but let's pump the brakes a little bit. Caleb Williams, write this down, will throw at least 5 interceptions in the first 3 games of the regular season. I don't think you're going to be able to just run around with the juking joystick and avoid some of the defenders he's going to face. So write that down. And by the way, quick shout out before I say goodbye here to Nicolay Law, the exclusive personal injury law firm of Purple Daily and SKOR North podcasts. Nicolay Law knows that when you or a loved one gets injured, ordinary life can come to a stop. Life can get complicated. Those insurance companies, they're not really concerned about giving you space to breathe and whatever it may be. So Nicolay Law comes in to make sure you get the compensation you deserve after an accident. So if you've been injured, get Minnesota's local award-winning injury lawyers. Get Nicolay, nicolaylaw.com, or 1-855-NICOLAY. Also, one last quick mention here. The SKOR North app, we're giving away a 75-inch Roku Pro Series 4K TV that automatically adjusts color and sharpness. Unfortunately, it can't adjust for bad quarterback play, so fingers crossed. But you can win this 75-inch Roku Pro Series TV just in time for football season. We're giving it away on the SKOR North app, listener rewards section. Nearly an $1,800 value, so check it out and register to win. It's free. The app is free, too. Bye, guys.
All right.
There he goes.
Odds that one of those 2 pillows on the bed behind him will end up in Phil's suitcase. Just a couple nice pillows. Couple nice pillows. Some people do take the pillow. They try at least. I'll say this: nothing better than a good pillow.
I'm much more team pillow than blankets. I can sleep with one blanket, like a thin blanket.
I did that last night.
I don't need blankets.
Winter it changes for me a little bit. I need
a pillow between my legs.
I hug one.
Yep.
Yeah, yep. I do hug one, but I find too, and I've always been sort of finicky about this, but now it's super important. I need the right support for my neck.
Yeah.
Like I cannot sleep with a mushy pillow. It doesn't have to be super firm. It can't be super firm, but I do need some help.
I sleep with 2 underneath my head.
Oh, I see. Don does that. I can't do that. I need one, and it just has to be firm enough where my neck's not sinking into it. I think it's an age thing as well. But yeah, I hug a pillow and sleep on my side.
Yeah, so I have a body pillow that's literally taller than I am. It's phenomenal.
We've got one of those. I don't like those.
Love those.
I like a normal pillow. I don't like those big ones. Stella loves the big ones. You like to sit on there.
Vinny Boy will find his way onto a pillow. He thinks he's a human. He loves this lazy.
They all do. It's because we, especially those of us without kids, treat the dog like they're a kid. So, but the big body pillow, I can't do it. Normal pillow, but I'm with you. This time of year especially, I do not need like a full complement of blankets.
No.
And I don't get it. Last thing. This new trend might not be the right word. This new phenomenon of these heavy blankets that are like supposed to calm you. Yeah. Weighted. What's that all about? I don't know. I feel like I was suffocating.
Yeah, I don't like them personally.
But it helps people, right?
Yeah, it helps them out. I personally don't like it.
I would feel like I can't move.
Yeah.
I gotta be free.
That's where I'm at as well. So I
gotta be
feel
free.
you.
All right. That's it.
All right, write that down.
Write that down.
Every Wednesday, right here on the SKOR North YouTube channel and anywhere you get your podcast feeds for your ear holes or your watching eyes, whatever it is. Hit the like button, subscribe button, 5-star review. This has been Write That Down. Stay tuned for a Twin Show on the Twin Show feeds coming up too.